Everyone has a story. Every legend of the game had to go through several years of hard work and perseverance, which sculpts them into the greats they are today. In today's video, we will dive deeply into the life and career of the legendary NHL Hall of Famer Marian Hossa. Early life and introduction to the sport. Marian Hossa was born on January 12, 1979 in Stara Ljubovna, Slovakia. His father, František, was a former ice hockey player and one-time coach of the Spartak Moscow hockey team and even an assistant coach of the Slovakian national team. Being born into a family of hockey lovers, it is no surprise that Marian and his younger brother Marcel grew to love the puck. Once Hossa joined Trenchin's youth hockey team, his coach, Pavel Bratranik, immediately recognized his talent. It wasn't too long for the bright ace to prove himself in the youth system. He was subsequently added to the Dukla Trenchin senior team. In describing how talented he was, as Pavel specifically noted, God gave it to him. Everything he tried, he was good at. But from that young age, Marian Hossa's most likable trait wasn't just his skill alone, but his personality as well. According to Pavel, Hossa has always been modest, disciplined, and exemplary to others. After being added to the Dukla senior hockey team following his completion of high school, he showed promise and consistency through his high performance. This earned him a regular start for the Dukla Trenchin team and built his teammates' confidence in him. He quickly became a mainstay in the team, a pillar to beckon upon, and he delivered respectively. In his first full regular season, he dropped 54 points while having 10 more in the playoffs at just 18 years of age. And then it was time for the big leagues. Draft and rise to fame. Being a promising talent, he quickly caught the eyes of the Ottawa Senators, who drafted him in the 1997 NHL Draft as the number 12th pick in the first round. However, he only played 7 games that season for the Senators, with his first game coming on October 1, 1997 against the Montreal Canadiens. The team then sent him to play for Portland Winterhawks in the Western Hockey League as a junior. There, he showed a lot of promise, winning the Jim Piggott Memorial Trophy as the best rookie, while also registering a staggering 45 goals, 40 assists, and 85 points for the team in just 53 games. Let's not also forget that his team won the 1998 Memorial Cup. That short spell with the junior team was enough to secure his place with the big boys again, and this time around, he settled nicely. He finally scored his first goal for the Ottawa Senators against the Florida Panthers on December 8, 1998. For the rest of that season, he went on to score 15 goals, 15 assists, and 30 points. It probably would have been more if not for an unfortunate injury spell that saw him out of the season early. Notably, his stats were still incredible for a rookie, earning him a place in the All-Rookie team and second place in the Calder Memorial Rookie voting behind Chris Drury. Hossa made his first All-Star appearance in 2001 and then a second one in 2003 after scoring 45 goals, which is his career best. He also registered more than 100 goals for Ottawa Senators in his 7-year stint with them, but he was traded to Atlanta Thrashers on August 23, 2005. After scoring 92 points for the Thrashers in his first spell with them in the 2005-2006 season, the following season he made it to the third All-Star game and then made history by scoring 100 points. This is still the highest points ever scored by a Thrasher in a single season in the history of the franchise. But after the successful feat in the 2006-07 season, the Thrashers traded him to the Pittsburgh Penguins on February 26, 2008, a deal that was met just 2 minutes before the close of the trade deadline. This trade will see him reach his first Stanley Cup Finals. Hossa's Cup dreams. His start with the team was quite slow, as he had an MCL injury which hindered him from playing the first 6 games since he was signed. Nevertheless, he was incredible for the Penguins in the playoffs, where he recorded 12 goals and 26 points, and his efforts were enough for the team to secure a spot in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Detroit Red Wings, who they unfortunately lost to 4-2. This was his first time in the finals of the Stanley Cup games, but it certainly wouldn't be the last. Subsequently, he achieved the same feat with his next 2 teams, the Detroit Red Wings in 2009 and the Chicago Blackhawks in 2010, becoming the first player ever in history to reach the Stanley Cup Final with 3 different teams in 3 consecutive seasons. But we are moving too fast already. Let's slow down a bit. Determined to perform and lift the trophy, he declined the 5-year deal with the Penguins and signed with the Detroit Red Wings instead in July 2008. And this would prove to be a mistake. Life with the Red Wings. His contract with the Red Wings was just for a year and was worth $7.4 million. The best way to be a champion fast was to join the champions, right? Well, as fate would have it, he reached the finals of the Stanley Cup, but guess who was waiting there for him and his new team? Yep, his old team, the Penguins. The pressure was totally on high now. Hossa would have to prove to the world that he didn't just make a mistake leaving the Penguins, only to miss out on yet another championship. And as if the Penguins desperately wanted to prove him wrong that their team was indeed his best chance of winning the Stanley Cup, they beat the Red Wings to clinch the title in 7 games. After this defeat in the final, what happened next? I'm sure you're as eager to find out, so why not drop a like and subscribe while you're at it? Success with the Chicago Blackhawks. After becoming a free agent following his 1-year contract with the Red Wings, he signed with the Chicago Blackhawks in July 2009. This contract was worth over $62 million and was to last for 12 years. While boasting staggering stats and playing prolific roles for the Blackhawks, his start to the team was initially hindered by an injury that saw him miss 22 games of the regular season for the Blackhawks. In the first year of Hossa's signature with the Blackhawks, they reached the finals of the Stanley Cup, Hossa's 3rd straight, and already the talk of Hossa Hex or Curse was already making the rounds in the news since most people felt he would never be able to win the title. But facing the Philadelphia Flyers in the finals, the Blackhawks were able to scale through after 6 games to secure their first cup title since 1961. But more importantly, Marian Hossa had just won his first ever Stanley Cup, a moment that was heartwarming to the world. The team knew what this trophy meant to the star, so when the trophy was to be lifted, the team's captain Jonathan Toews made the first ceremonial pass of the cup to Hossa. In 2013, Hossa alongside the Blackhawks made a triumphant return to the Stanley Cup final. He netted 7 goals and tallied 16 points across 22 games, a crucial contribution to Chicago's championship victory. Just 2 years later in 2015, Hossa played a pivotal role in securing Chicago's 3rd championship within a span of 6 seasons. Over the course of 23 games, he showcased his prowess with 17 points, consisting of 4 goals and 13 assists. Even though he never won another Stanley Cup, he continued to leave his mark as a veteran in his team and in the league in general. But his career was soon cut short by something very unlikely happening in the world of sport: retirement. At the beginning of the 2017-2018 season, the 38-year-old Hossa announced that he would not be participating in any of the hockey games that season. This, he said, was due to severe reactions that he suffered following some medical treatments he had been having for years. Even though Hossa couldn't really play and was basically retired, he couldn't announce his retirement because he still had 3 years left in his contract. Subsequently, the Blackhawks traded him to the Arizona Coyotes in 2018. But in 2022, Hossa signed for the Blackhawks for just 1 day to officially retire from the sport. The Blackhawks also retired his iconic number 81 jersey, which ended his beautiful story with them. But guess what? The biggest one in any athlete's book, the Hall of Fame, came even before he made his official retirement. Hockey Hall of Fame. Throughout 19 impressive NHL seasons, Hossa accumulated 1,134 points, comprising 525 goals and 609 assists across 1,309 games. His consistent excellence extended to the playoffs as he clinched a spot in the postseason in 17 seasons, amassing 149 points, including 52 goals and 92 assists over 205 playoff games. Such a distinguished career earned Hossa the honor of being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020, an achievement he secured during his first year of eligibility. Well, that's all about the great Marian Hossa. What do you think about the beautiful story of Marian Hossa? Kindly let us know in the comments section below. And for more stories, don't forget to subscribe.